Hello there.
Hey, how's it going?
Hey, Josh. Nice to talk to you again. How you doing?
I'm doing great. It's great to be able to talk to you again and talk about this amazing new album coming out on Friday.
Wow, thanks, man. I hope it is amazing. We loved it so much to record it, and so I guess you like it. I hope you do.
Oh, I honestly do. I really loved the debut album when we got to talk about that the first time around, but seeing the progression of where you guys are going right now and seeing the band just expand the way that you have with American Amadeus, I really can feel the band getting stronger on this album, and it's so great to hear that.
Thanks a lot, Josh. This honestly means a lot to us because obviously it hasn't been a good year for everybody. And then again, you're standing there New Year's Eve, and you're like, okay, fuck, let it be over with. And like, somebody said, hey, it hasn't been that bad, John. You just did a new album. You did some new videos, and yeah, I guess he was right. So right now, for the start for 21, it's a good energy because everything is so bad right now in America. Everything seems to be falling apart. In the whole world, everybody is, it's a lot of fear there. And right now, there's a lot of good energy coming our way, and we have a feeling that the people that listen to that album understand what this album is about, and we're very happy to send out some good, positive energy right now.
Yeah, that's totally the way that I'm taking the album right now. It's like it just feels so good to not think about what's going on in the state of the world right now and just being able to put on some great music and just being able to have a good rockin' time listening to it and just, whether it's more of a country ballad, whether it's more of a heavier song, or, like the title track as well, too. I mean, being able to throw things out that way. I mean, it's so nice to just have an album where I can just put it on there, go from start to finish and just forget my troubles for a while. And that's what American Amadeus really brings to the table.
Thanks, man. I mean, really, I appreciate what you're saying, and I just imagine where you're located in Minnesota. Where is that?
It's pretty much in the northern middle of the country in America.
Okay. Okay. And so I suppose you guys have snow and everything right now. Is it a good time to go cruising with the album in your car right now?
Unfortunately not. It's like we are completely covered in snow, but once it does melt, that'll be a great time to do it.
Okay. Give me feedback if that works for you in summer.
Oh, totally. Yeah, I mean, it totally kicks off that way too. I mean, once you start up the car and you just start driving, I mean, what's a better song to be able to get into a driving mood than Voodoo, Sex, and Vampires? I mean, it's just a great rockin' song, and just being able to get on the road. I mean, it's a good road song.
It is, it might get you speeding tickets, but yeah, I agree. I had a lot of. I mean, you're back from a day. You know what we're talking about. I was obviously thinking about some swampy little club with, like I had some Tarantino-esque scenes in front of my eyes. Of course, Warrant, Uncle Tom's Cabin, everything. Nowadays we can't reinvent rock and roll, but what we can do is we can play with the elements, and the longer we live, obviously, the longer the time is where we can put parts together. We can refer to the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, and it's a big reservoir. People might call it cliches, but I would rather say it might be an expertise, and I can see that in some of the critiques right now that people really appreciate. Okay, I know it's not new what they're doing, but in the way they combine it and that they quote certain things, this is new, and that shows that we are talking with connoisseurs at the moment.
Yeah, that's such a great way to be able to describe it too, and I especially love seeing that progression between both albums here. I mean, and also just in a year's time too. I mean, with the debut album coming out last year, and now American Amadeus coming out on Friday. I mean, it's really cool to see like how far the band is able to expand and touch on other genres while still being able to have that core sense of what the band is about, and also just making sure that it's going to be updated enough to really throw things to the crowd that they may not expect from a style that they are familiar with.
Right. I mean, I at the beginning when we presented the cover for the first time, the album, the artwork. Some fans weren't sure what to think about it, because they could see me with a Amadeus hairdo, and they didn't know what to expect. But as soon as the first songs came out, especially the title track with the video, people directly knew, okay, it's the same old John Diva, the dandy-like, flamboyant, over-the-top, positive rock and roll party dude in a different disguise, but the core of it is still glammy 80s rock. But as you say, we're trying to expand. If you have the chance to get your hand on the vinyl, we do have some bonus on there, and there's a song that means a lot to me. It's called Star of Rock, and it's a reminiscence to my early childhood, to the 70s. I kind of hear a little Who in there, and so we did reach out to the 70s, and with American Amadeus, we kind of reached out to the times where crossover used to be big, a little bit like in the 90s, with the beat and with the groove, because it's a heavy groove, almost a hip hop groove, but in the core it stays glamorous, and we enjoyed so much. We didn't have a concept for that album. The concept was we have 3 songwriters, JJ Love, Snake Rocket, and myself, and let's just let the best song win. And this is probably the very simple explanation why there is so much to experience on that record. With 2 Hearts, you just have an acoustic ballad, and then you have some up-temp songs with Wasted in Babylon, which is like really more or less heavy metal, or Champagne on Mars, which is a little bit more adult-orientated, what you would call it, or like back to the 70s. So there's a lot to explore on that album, and we had a lot of fun putting that together.
Oh, and it's so great to hear that too, and with the final product, it really does come out that way. I mean, especially with it being so positive and being able to enjoy life kind of album. I mean, if it's not authentic when it comes to what's going on in the band, it's gonna come off that way where it doesn't sound authentic. But that's not the case here. I mean, it absolutely sounds like you're enjoying yourselves writing and composing and recording this album, and that's so important.
Yes, and in times we did play in 2019. We played over 75 shows. Last year we played 2 or 3 shows, like most of our colleagues, obviously. And of course, I would lie if I would say I would miss it, because it's mainly what rock and roll is about: to go out there, to share it, to sweat, to rock and roll, to party, and to be loud and proud. And it really, I really had to deal with quite some dark moments within the last months, where to put all that energy. And at the same time, I was so thankful that I enjoy working in the studio so much. I know a lot of musicians who don't like it, but I love to be in a studio. There is hardly a better place except a party or a stage or a beach where I am, because I'm a very hyperactive person. But if I'm in the studio, I can really start concentrating, I can really start focusing, and I can be a total nerd about some small vocal line or something, and this gives me inspiration, and it gives me time to meditate even, almost. And this is a very strong energy that we share within this band, the love for that kind of music. And I would say I'm very proud on the guys, because they are a great rockin' band, and it's such an honor to be able to have these playbacks to sing to. It really is, and it was a great production, and we're very proud, and we hope it spreads around the world.
Oh, and again, that is just so great to hear that too, and just being able to have that while so much is going on in the world. And I can totally see that again, like you touched on it a little bit, but being able to see like the promo pictures of you guys, and just being able to see the fun that you have, being able to continue on being yourselves, but just like show this different side of you as well too. And if you can find a way to be able to take something that, like what's happened in 2020 and still continuing on now, and being able to turn it into such a positive and make such a great valuable thing that you're able to enjoy yourself. I mean, I can only imagine how great of a feeling that is when it will eventually come out and everyone gets to hear it.
Yes. And there is some good signs. I mean, I'm really a little bit superstitious, but right now it looks like we could make the charts over here in Germany at least, and maybe some other European countries. And obviously, and this is so much fun talking to you too now, because we have talked about Mama Said, and as you said, it took us 2 years to come out with the next album. Actually, we would have been able to release in September. That was the plan. So the album actually was done in May 2020. And it's just because there's a lot of energy and we just wanted to continue. And now, obviously, it's so rewarding to see that a lot of people refer to Mama Said as a good album that really introduced them to John Diva. And then there's a second album now coming up. And, to have a reference to suddenly be a band with more than one album, this is an experience that for us is very satisfying, because obviously it deepens the experience for everybody, for us as well as for the people who listen to it and who critique it, because you have been going quite a way together now.
What? Yeah, and that's a very fair point when it comes to that too. And the fact that the album has been ready almost a full year now. I mean, obviously a few months off, but the fact that it was ready back last May, and so many things had to delay the album, and so many things that you wish could have happened, like starting to see more shows and tours starting to happen, and just seeing this pandemic eventually dissolve so we can get back to our lives again. But just being able to have something like this on the table and being able to share that experience with other fans as well too. I mean, whether it's making the music videos, whether it's just recording the music, or any fresh ideas that you've had since May, and being able to look at that for the future too, and just seeing the band continue on when times are tough like this, and hopefully getting on the charts. I mean, this is an album that is chart worthy, and I hope that does happen.
Yeah. Thanks for your good wishes. We very much hope. I mean, this is in times where you can only be present in online, which is a lot. I mean, if we would talk now in the 90s with a pandemic, there hardly would be a way for rather smaller bands to do anything. So in a way, I'm very thankful for being able to contribute a lot and put that stuff out online, and to be in charge right now talking to you via Skype. So this is something I'm very thankful for, because it's a strange moment. As you said, we've been done with a record. I mean, we did recordings last year. I think exactly 1 year ago we had a session where we wrote Bling Bling Marilyn, for example, and obviously if you're done with a record, there's certain weeks where you just are not able to listen to it. You're like, you just see all the mistakes, or something that you think you didn't recognize, you didn't realize to do. But then after a while you see, hey, this is a great sounding rock and roll album, and I want to put this on stage now. And this is where the depression comes in, where you said, we just don't know when we will be able to do it. But I don't know if you heard about it. On Friday, this Friday, we're going to do some online release show. Let me see what time it is. And you can just wait. I just got the press. Wait, where is it? Who wrote it to me? Ollie. Let me see. Because in case you want, you can just join in. Here it is. It's a streaming release party this Friday, 8 o'clock European time. And you can see that on getnext.to/John Diva. So it's a free and exclusive release party. We're going to play 3 songs. We're going to chat. We're going to drink. It's just going to be hopefully a blast. 60 minutes getting together with everybody who wants to be part of that.
Oh, that just sounds incredible. And I'm so glad for the times that we live in, just like you were talking about before. I mean, the fact that we are talking over Skype, but just being able to have that streaming capability, that for the fact that you are still able to put on this hour-long experience where you can play songs, you can interact with people, you can have this experience instead of just seeing the album and just seeing it from afar and not being able to have that fan experience. I mean, that's so cool of you guys to do that.
Yeah, and we were thinking, what can we do? And this actually, in case you're gonna see it, it's built from scratch. We just right now our technique crew is checking like some club, so it's gonna be improvised. And to be honest, we haven't yet had the chance to play the songs out of the studio. So this is going to be a total world premiere. Let's hope we will make it. But we said, we're a glam band. We depend so much on our audience, and we can't just put out our second album without doing anything. So let's hope for that. We're gonna definitely stream. I just sent you a link, by the way. And in case you want to join in, I'm happy to have you.
Oh, thank you so very much for that. I can't wait to be able to check that out on Friday. I mean, with such a great album coming out, and knowing that this show is still a way to be able to interact with the fans and get that reception, and premiering some songs too off the album and in that live setting, that is just so cool. With it being at 8 p.m. European time, I think that's just going to be an incredible way to be able to kick off the weekend.
Cool. And so I imagine you sitting there now. It's really cold outside. You have like what, couple of inches snow there, or
yeah, I'm looking at it now. It does look to be like a few to several inches of snow.
Okay. So yeah, you're just gonna get some bottles of beer and hopefully enjoy that. I mean, we will. There's gonna be some margaritas mixed by JJ Love, who's half Mexican. So we're supplied. we got supplies.
Oh, that is so cool, and it just sounds like it's going to be a great time too. I mean, I can hear it in your voice how excited you are to be able to not only release the album on Friday, but have this show as well too, and just being able to celebrate everything that's going on. And yeah, just like we were talking about before, I mean, the fact that we can do this in 2021 and have this kind of experience instead of just sitting at home and seeing everything unfold and, just waiting for, like a newspaper or magazine to be able to say what the record sales are going to be from the fan side or whatever the case is. I mean, this is just so cool. And yeah, I mean, just perfect time to be able to sit down, have some drinks, and just have that fun experience. And it's so great to see you guys do that.
Wow, thank you, man. Thanks for your support and for being interested in us, for following, and we really appreciate it. Obviously, talking to the motherland of all of this American glam rock, and we're very proud that there is attention in the States for John Diva as well.
Oh, and I've been so happy to be able to help contribute to spreading that message here in America. I mean, whether it's through the YouTube version of my interviews or the radio show version where I'm able to spread that plus play the music. I mean, it's so great to be able to just spread a great rock and roll band like that, like what you guys are capable of doing. And American Amadeus is absolutely that kind of album, and it's so cool to be able to do this again so soon and being able to really appreciate what you guys have done here. And it's been so great being able to talk to you about all of it too. I mean, with such a great and, expansive album is what's going on with American Amadeus. I mean, obviously you can see that from the album cover, you can see that from the press photos, the music video. I mean, all of it is just so cool, and it looks like you guys are having so much fun. But again, with the show coming up on this Friday at 8 p.m. Central European time, I mean, it's going to be great to be able to see how that is with the crowd reaction and seeing what they have to say. And, it's not back to normal, but it's something to be able to do until we can get there.
Right.